Hello, hello, hello. It's Keto Williams, founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. Success Bully is an elite accountability practice, so that makes me your personal professional butt kicker. And I just like to say apologies. We had some technical difficulties with Zoom, so if you're over on Zoom, pop on over to the group. Sorry about that. Zoom would not let us be great today. So we roll with the punches. That's the beauty of doing lives. You got to roll with the punches. So today, besides looking awesome in my sateen dress, I feel like I'm giving it all to you right now. I need to just acknowledge a moment that I really like my outfit. Um, Congratulations on making it midway through June. Happiest of Mondays. I'm happy to be here. I am happy that you are here. I'm happy that we made it. So today I wanted to cut a lot of fluff. I wanted to cut a bunch of extra stuff. I wanted to make your life real, real easy. I wanted to free you from the burdens of your business. And I want to tell you the three things you actually need to do. And the three things you actually need to do to scale your business. Now, this is a secret. It's a secret. So lean on into the secret. So now, before I get to those three things you need to actually scale your business, I want to make a quick announcement. Everyone, this community is dedicated to our part time coaches and consultants who want to scale out of their corporate jobs. And so we want to help you get 20 clients in 12 months or less. So we're putting together we have lots of resources here within the community. We have lots of resources within our coaching practice, but this is a passion project for me. We built this community out of my passion of seeing other coaches and consultants struggle, where they're good at the modality of what they do. So they're really great coaches and they may have gotten all types of certification, right? But they're not good business people. Or they're really awesome consultants. They're doing really fantastic design work, but they don't know how to build a business. And so all of that talent and all that they have to offer the world is 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 stagnant, and they're frustrated and they're overwhelmed, or they're feeling that financial tension. And so that's what this group was designed for. That's why we so lovingly have built this group. That is why we're putting a lot of resources and efforts into it, because this costs us money to run this group. This group costs money to build. So it's an investment into the lives that we want to touch. We're pouring into you, right? And so I just wanted to flag that for you. But also, everyone in this community has a personal concierge. So if your first name begins with the letters A through M, Sai is your personal concierge. If your first name begins with the letters N as in Nancy through Z, Vanessa is your personal concierge. And so we're just thrilled to be here with you. We're thrilled to bring you top tier um, information. We're just so excited to be here, and I am so thankful that we get to do this every week. We get to connect with people every day, and more importantly, I get a a a a rush from seeing you all successful, right? I get an adrenaline rush from your wins. So let's keep those adrenaline rushes coming. So today I wanted to talk about the three things you actually need. And so when you get started, or even if you have started, you may be burdening yourself. You may be feeling overwhelmed by all the things. And there's so many people that are giving you so many different directions. Like, you need to have this really large social media footprint to build a business, or that you need to have a sparkly website, a really well designed website, or you have to learn how to be a developer or a web designer, or spend a lot of money on it. You need to have this really extensive email list. You need to have thousands of people on your email list, and you need to have millions of followers, and you need to have um, thrilling content. You need to have a blog. You need to have a podcast. You need to create and attract, and you need to do all of these things. And the truth of it is, if you are working full time, if you're working full time while you are building your business, where does that extra time come from? Right? Where does that extra time come from? Because like a podcast without appropriate marketing, you're podcasting to no one. So you have to not only have the bandwidth to create the podcast, you have to have the bandwidth and resources to promote the podcast. And then there's like a 1 to 2% chance that those listeners are going to convert to clients. Social media, right? And I don't think it's lost on me that I am live streaming on a social media platform. But when you're getting started and you have an audience and you have a following of 30 and half of them are related to you, they're not going to be your buyers, right? It takes time to build those things. And I'm not saying you don't do those. Just do not expect them to convert for you right away. And so newsletters, content, um, content, whether it's social media, all of that's a long game. And you have to build it to and invest in it to see the fruits of your labor, right? You gotta pour into it before you get an outcome. And you have to be very intentional about that. So understanding where you are, that if you are working part-time and you have a sizable social media following, good on you. I'm more concerned about conversion. I'm more concerned about how many consultation calls did you book? And all that TikTok choreography, did that net you any consultation calls? Did that net you any clients? That's what I'm more concerned about. So now I hope that that lifts a weight off of you. That yes, you can scale your way into these things and you can build them over time. But where I really want you to focus is on these three things. And these three things will not cost you any money. They will cost you time. They will call, and some will say time is money, but you don't have to pay somebody to do these things. You can get started right now. And I want you to know that these three things are the anchor, that cornerstone that we built this practice on. And it's the cornerstone that I want you to build your business on. So this does not, again, no big investment here. You don't need to take out a loan. You don't need to take out a loan. You don't need to reconfigure your whole financial life to do this. You don't need to go get 5 clients before you can actually execute on this. I want y'all to do it right now, today. And I tell you what, whenever I evaluate the business, I come back to these 3 things. Okay? The first thing, before I get into the 3 things, I want to remind you to shift your mindset really quickly. I want you to reprogram your thinking around this. Business is easy. Lucille, type it in the comments for me. Business is easy. Business is easy. And everyone under the sound of my voice, I sound like a preacher. Everyone under the sound of my voice, you have earned the right to be in ease and flow. And so I want to remind you, business is easy. What makes it hard is overthinking. What makes it hard is limiting beliefs, doubting yourself, doubting your self-worth, questioning every move you make, not thinking you're enough. waiting for it to be perfect, waiting for the perfect opportunity to do something, that's what makes it hard. Thinking that you need all of these things before you can take action, that you need a fancy website that ain't nobody gonna visit, that you need thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers to make money on social media. Unless you want to be an influencer, you don't need to. That you need to have this very, very large newsletter list or mailing list. You don't need to get started. So the first thing you need. Hi, Danisha, because I was yelling this at you the other day. Hey, Danisha. Hi, Sabrina. I want to get on the phone with you too. The first thing you need, ideal client. If you're running around saying, I want to help women, you want to help 52% of the global population. You do not have Estee Lauder, LVMH budgets to market to half the global population, right? So I want you to think about, who do you want to serve? Who do you want to support? Who do you want to work with? Now, whether you're a coach or you're a consultant, you don't do you if you're a designer, you don't design for everybody. What are the types of businesses that you want to work with or partner with? What types of organization? Likewise, if you're a coach, who do you serve? If you say stressed out moms, I don't know a mama that's not stressed out. That's like in the definition. So stressed out mom to who? Moms with children with special needs, moms with children, with teenagers, single moms with infants, divorced mothers of multiples. The more specific, the better. Because oftentimes, if you find that things aren't clicking, you might have to drill down just a little bit in that ideal client. So, not just women in leadership. Okay, women in leadership in what type of industry? In what industry? What space? Okay, not tech. Okay, tech is still pretty broad. Is it women in leadership in AI? Women in first time managers in the gaming industry, right? So really get specific about that ideal client. And if you're stuck there, think about, who asks you for advice. Is it your corporate friends always asking you for career advice? Is it your girlfriends always come to you for relationship advice or parenting advice? What are people usually asking you for? Because most of us in the coaching space, at least, most of us in the coaching space have been coaching longer than we had certification, longer than we decided that we were going to be a coach. Most of us have been doing this since we were children. Or if you're a consultant, like one of my clients is a negotiation expert, has a whole business around negotiation. He's been working. He's been an expert in negotiation before he decided to start a company. Like he's always been really great at negotiation and having tough conversations, right? And so I want you to think about that. So, like, who is that ideal client? And get like really crystal clear on who you work with. And I go as far as giving them a name. Understand household income, education, like the demographic data, but then think about the psychological. What are their aspirations? What are their, we don't want to fear monger, but what are some of the challenges that they experience? What have they tried? Um, where are they in the journey? Right? That doesn't cost you anything. You just have to sit down and do the work. And if you're saying, I only want to work with moms, or I only want to work with mid-sized companies, that's too broad. Either narrow it by another layer of their demographic, or if it's a B2B play, narrow it by industry, narrow it by company size, narrow it by revenue, right? Because the problems you have with a six-figure business are not the same problems you have as a multi seven-figure business, right? The challenges that a mama of teenagers has is very different than the challenges of a mama with toddlers. There's some kindred spirit and overlap, but if you're a mother trying to get your kids motivated to start the college application process, that's a very specific. That's very specific. How do you motivate without doing the work for them? Okay, so there you have it. So who is that ideal client, right? Who is that ideal client? That doesn't cost you nothing to sit down and figure out who you want to work with. The more specific, the better. So step back from it and go, how can I make this an actual person? Think of somebody in your network that you liked interacting with, right? So there you go. Ideal client. And check on this, because sometimes you can get away from your ideal client just based on where you are from a revenue standpoint. You may take a project that doesn't align with who you want to serve. You'll probably end up miserable. But like sometimes you got to pull it back to that ideal client, right? That's number one. Number two, the number two thing you need is not a website. It's not a huge social media following. It's not a shiny podcast. The second thing you need is an irresistible offer. An irresistible offer. So when you think about your ideal client and you intimately know them and you're familiar with their aspirations, their hopes, their disappointments, their fears, their biggest challenges, and the things they've tried, what do you have that you can share with them? Whether that is from your professional training or your lived experiences that can take them from where they are, the challenged, stressed out state they may be in right now, to that space that aligns with their aspiration. What bridge, we call it the transformation bridge, that you can walk them across. If you broke it down into steps, what is that secret sauce you have for that ideal client? Now, you ain't for everybody. We are not Walmart. We are not Kmart. Nothing wrong with those places. But that is for the masses. We are boutique. So when you have that laser focus of that ideal client, you know what they need. So now what do you have to offer them in the canon of your training, your lived experiences, and the the technical details? What can you provide them with that'll walk them through the process? And again, if you've probably been doing this for years, you probably have been doing this for years. You probably have a way that you interact with your friends that call and ask you for advice, or within your corporate job, the people that you mentor and coach at work, your junior staffers, you probably walk them through a process, right? So now it's like, how do you make that digestible? How do you make it so so that it's actionable, right? Is it is it a 6-month program? Is it a 12-month program? Can you get them somewhere in 4 weeks? Is it 3 sessions? What will you cover? Now, pro tip, we think of this as a program, an experience. This is not, we don't do hourly piecemeal work. And even for my consultants, I want you to think of packages, right? Packages and programs. Okay. So in a coaching space, I would say nothing less than 12 weeks. And the reason why I say that is that it's 33 to 66 days to develop a new habit, 90 days before you get results. So I would want to stay with clients long enough for them to get results, right? Transformation bridge. So what do you have for them that solves our problem? What can you come in and do for them? Or even for our consultants out there, if their big problem is brand identity, what package do you have for them that helps them establish, maintain, or mature their brand identity? Because it's more than just a logo, right? So think about that irresistible offer. So, and that's so much easier to build when you know who it's for. So it's kind of, think of it like if someone sent you out to go get a present and they were like, just, I need a gift for tonight. What questions would you ask? Well, okay, who's a gift for? What do they do for a living? Okay, what size are they? What's the budget? It was so much easier to buy the gift when you know who the gift is for. And likewise, it's so much easier to serve. That's your irresistible offer when you know who it's for. So start with building block number one. Neither one of these cost you any money. It costs you the time investment to do the work. Do the work. Make it ideal client super specific. If it still feels like you don't know how to connect with them or where to find them, it's not specific enough. If you're not sure how you can help them, it's not specific enough. Right? If you're not sure that your experience is valuable to them, your ideal client's not specific enough. Okay? Irresistible offer, ideal client. Okay, third and final thing, and then I'm out of here. I got stuff to do. How are you? What mechanisms are you going to use to consistently get in front of your ideal client? You do not have to do them all, but you have to have a consistent way of connecting. I.e., when I say connect, I want to get their contact information. I want to eyeball to eyeball if I can in this virtual world that we're living in. There's a number of ways you can do it without ever putting real pants on. But you have to pick one, possibly two, and run with that. You can't do it all. You can't do it all. And some of the stuff like digital marketing, that is not for novices, right? Unless you have a digital marketing agency and you're an expert at it, then by all means, think about what you have and where you can find these people. So we've gone as far as naming our ideal client Carrie. When I'm out and about in the world, I'm looking for Carries. When I decide what events, networking events I'm going to, because now we're going out for real. We're back out in the world, y'all. Back out in there. When I'm deciding what events I'm going to attend, I think about the number of Carries that will be in the room. When we are running our digital ads, we're using the avatar of Carrie to set up our ads. We understand her aspirations. We understand her goals. We understand her frustrations. We understand how she self-sabotages by being a high achiever and a perfectionist. We understand her imposter syndrome. We understand her money hangups. We understand all of that and we build around that. So whether we show up in person or I do a speaking engagement, I am looking for an audience full of Carries. When I'm creating content, our content ain't for everybody. Our content is for Carries, right? So whether that is getting involved with a professional organization, because that professional organization is going to be filled with your ideal client. If that is if that's booking speaking engagements, facilitating workshops, if that is hosting your own events, if that is partnering with other organizations to host events, if it's actually going to one networking event a week, how are you going to get in front of that ideal client? And yes, here's where your content comes in. But again, that's that slow roll. It's slow. It's a slow build. And Terry, we're blessed to have you here too. Oh, you're making my day. I hope this is helpful. I hope this is helpful. And so, you know, um, this is the piece of the puzzle that is based on preference. So when you think about how you're going to get in front of your ideal clients, that's preference. That is what you feel, what feels comfortable and authentic for you. I don't want, if you are suffer from debilitating stage fright, I'm not going to push you to do speaking engagements. If you are better in one-on-one scenarios, then it's going to take you longer, but we do what feels right and what feels authentic for you. If it feels slimy or icky, you don't have to do it. If it's so wildly uncomfortable, it's painful for you, you don't have to do it. Right? This is where I think that a lot of cookie cutter gimmicky coaching programs will tell you this is what worked for our business. It should work for yours too. Well, not if it feels icky and inauthentic to me. If it feels like I'm a used car salesman, if, you know, I think that oftentimes the thing that we feel uncomfortable with, usually the thing we have to do, but like, think of it as hand to hand combat. We want to get in front of, you got to be in strike zone to share with people, right? If you're not close enough, whether you build that digitally or in person, if you're not close enough to have that conversation, they're not close enough to be in your strike zone, it's harder to share, to get that consult call, to bring them on as a client, right? And so again, a lot of these things, whatever you decide as a way that you're going to get in front of your ideal client, it doesn't have to cost you anything, right? You can go where your clients are. Like when I think about, I look at Eventbrite at the top of the month, now that we're going places, and I look for things that are a little bit out of my comfort zone, but will be filled with Carries. I speak at events where it's a room full of Carries. We did the Ladies Get Paid, Get Money, Get Paid conference. Bunch of Carries. That feels good and feels authentic to me. I am not stressed out about doing those things. The key is it's something you enjoy and you can do it consistently, right? As your business is always 90 days ahead of you. So you're always going to be you always have to be in motion in terms of getting new clients, because we don't control when people say yes. We control knocking that first domino over. We control connecting with them. We control following up. We control staying on their radar. We don't control when people say yes. We don't control when they book a call. And some of my biggest clients are people that have circled around our ecosystem for years, right? For years before they made a decision. And so that's why you always have to stay in motion. And so at the top of the hour, or whenever we started, I said, though, the big take home is business is easy. Business is easy. Business is easy. The three things I want you to focus on: ideal client, irresistible offer, and then getting in front of them consistently. And this is a piece that's ongoing. These pieces can evolve. You may, you know, find that you want to work with somebody else. That's You can date your ideal client. You don't have to marry them. Or you find that that there are some tweaks you want to make to your offer as you grow as a coach or a consultant. That's fine. You can evolve those. But the mechanism of consistently getting in front of people, that's the one you have to do over and over and over. It's a rinse, wash, repeat, rinse, wash, repeat. And then you'll start seeing what works better. Like if going to networking events works for you and you see a return on investment, then get real intentional about it. If speaking engagements work for you, get real intentional about it. Systematize it. Make it part of your routine. So I know that we kind of rushed through that, and again, I apologize for our technical glitches. Zoom was not letting us Zoom. So if you want to understand the how, so I gave you the what, and I am happy to give you the what all day, every day. But if you want to pull back the curtain and understand the how, right? The how of it all, we have a program for that. We have a program for that, and that is called the Exit Strategy Academy. The Exit Strategy Academy, we have flung the doors open, and our goal is to help coaches and consultants get 20 new clients in 12 months or less. And so we've built this program around that ideal. While we help you with these fundamental things, and that is always part of our core, our foundational. We call that our Exit Strategy Academy foundation. We want to help you scale, right? And like 20 clients is a great way. 20 clients on your roster is a great measuring stick for when is it time to leave corporate, right? That's a great space to be like that. That's real money where you can make real choices. So if you have a handful of clients right now, but you're trying to figure out how to get more, or you're having trouble like just having consistent leads into your business, or you're still a little uncomfortable with sales, or you need multiple revenue streams. So like you have one-on-ones, now you want to add groups. You want to figure out how to bring in reliable, consistent revenue, because that's the big hang up from you leaving your job, is that you can't see it just yet. It's too high, low, high, low, high, low for you to jump out there. Then I really want you to consider the Exit Strategy Academy. And so it's a year-long program with us where we'll help you with your organic lead generation, your sales skills. We have brought on a sales coach who leads a sales team at one of the largest tech organizations on the planet, who works with our team to empower you. And every time he coaches, I learn something new myself. We're going to help you develop those offer ladders so that you have a ascension model for your clients. We're going to help you build some automated tools to build your email list to get those leads. And then we're going to help you with systems to grow your company, right? So the way that we do that is that we have 2 live calls a week. And so I do a live coaching call on Monday, and we respect the fact y'all working. The calls are not until 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. We have office hours on Wednesday, which are less structured, where you can interact with one of our coaches on staff and ask whatever questions. If you want documents reviewed, if you have a question about a tricky client or a tricky proposal, you have the opportunity to get that support. We have what we like to call a quadruple layer of accountability. So you're assigned an accountability coach. You have an access to our tracker that tracks your progress and spits out a scorecard. We're available for one-on-one support via Zoom or Loom. So if we have the bandwidth, we will have a call with you. If it's something that we can answer really quickly, we'll shoot you a quick video. And then you have a private onboarding call to help you get adjusted and acclimated to the program. Now we have a special bonus going on right now where you can get a private planning and vision session with yours truly. And you know, we're coming in at thousands and thousands of dollars to talk to me one-on-one at this point, to work with me one-on-one for 6 months at 15K. Um, and then we built a script for you to help you communicate with your leads so that you can kind of warm them up and have those meaningful conversations so you can get them on a consultation call. So if you want more information about the Exit Strategy Academy and how we have evolved this program to be of the highest value, we put a guarantee on it that if you don't get those 20 clients in that 12-month time frame, you will work with me personally one-on-one until you do. Again, I said working with me one-on-one is 15K every 6 months, so it's 30K for the year. If you want more information about the program, reach out to your personal concierges. If your first name begins with the letters A through M, Sai is your personal concierge. If your first name begins with the letters N through Z, Vanessa is your personal concierge. If you want to, you can skip the line and just grab a strategy session right now at successbully.com/call. And to figure out if the program is right for you. So once again, I am Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. Go ye therefore and do those 3 things and then give me an update. All right, y'all, let's get after it.